Hello and welcome to Audio Adventures. This is a D&D 5th edition podcast that is made by friends, with friends, and for friends. And if you clicked on us, buckle up. It's going to be a crazy magic carpet ride for you and me. This podcast is used by my nerdy friends and I to escape our lives for a time and act out some pretty ridiculous scenarios. And we are so glad to have you here. A couple things before we start. Our group loves the rule of cool, so I'm sure we will get rules wrong. So if we do, please feel free to tell us in a kind fashion down in the comments. Also, if you want to contribute to the fantastical world of Seblos where this campaign takes place, please make a comment and you may be seeing that kobold cleric in the very near future, along with your name in the show as well. Now, please grab a seat and some popcorn, and let's meet our Wandering Vanguard. Audio Adventures is a D&D 5th edition homebrewed podcast and may deal with triggering themes at times. Viewer discretion is advised. Trigger warnings can be found in the description.
Previously on the Wandering Vanguard.
You leave, and you come back chopped up.
Figuratively and literally.
I'd say finely sliced, but...
It's... I mean, it wasn't really a big deal, but, I may or may not have accidentally gotten a malevolent demon of some sort trapped in my hand, and it had to be cut off.
And as you, say this, she's like, oh. And she just scrunches her face together and, does a face palm, essentially. You are your father's son. That's for sure. You were lying to them about your name this whole time?
I mean...
You told us it was Tavis Telgar.
Maybe.
Tavis
It
Owl?
is.
Telgar.
Owl?
What?
What?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. He's always liked owls. It seems that gravity took a hold of one of my last projects, so... I believe your father will almost be finished. If you want to go over to
You need
him...
any help? I know my way around a garden.
Oh, it is no problem. And I don't know if this is the sort of garden you're accustomed to.
The name's Tibber, by the way. Tibber O'Dara.
And she starts to say hi, and she...
Uh-oh.
Darrow?
Yes?
Your last name is Darrow, sorry. Did
Yes.
I mishear you?
Nope. You heard correctly. Tibber O'Dara.
Oh, well, very nice to meet you. I need to go clean up. And she turns around and goes into the back room. You hear the sounds of a full house. You know that it's not the sounds of your siblings around you, but it's a very nice feeling nonetheless.
And, Tavis is just gonna sit like that for a little bit.
That is where we begin.
And slow dissolving away from that scene, Ekman is holding Tibber's hand, and he is walking quickly up the stairs to the 4th floor.
We don't have to run. Okay.
What? Not running, I'm just walking fast.
This is running. You're basically running.
We need to get you doing some cardio, Tibber, if you think this is running.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, he says, come on, let's go, we're almost there. And you guys come up to the top of the steps and round around a corner and find a room with your number on it, and you open the door. It is a very warm white room.
Ooh.
It's not sterile white. It's sort of like the eggshell, nice, soft white. And there is one bed. And then closets on the side. You just so happen to pick that bedroom. Just saying.
Yeah, that's 100%. I believe that 100%.
No, I'm being for real. And it's like the room, and there's like not bunk beds on each side, because this is like the sort of like room at the top of the house where the window is at the back of the bed and the ceiling is going down, cutting off some of the room. So the bed has to be in that position. So,
is there a big old window or a balcony?
There is a window that you can oversee the courtyard down from, that is behind your bed.
Okay, cool. So when Tibble opens the door, he's gonna see the bed, walk up to it, and you know that thing where you don't lay like the correct way, you just kind of flop down on it to see how comfy it is. Just like
you just face plant on this bed, and it is a very nice bed.
I'm gonna take off the bag of holding and just set it like at the edge of the bed, like, ugh. This is nice.
Ooh, that looks fluffy. And on the other side, just Ekman runs and jumps on the other side of you and does a similar position. The door is still open.
We should probably close the door.
I wanna.
We should probably close the door. You were the last one. You were over by the door.
But I'm on the bed now.
And you know who was here first?
Me, because the party don't start till I flop in.
Nope. And then we'll probably argue about it for a tiny bit, and then Tibber will eventually just go up and shut the door. And then go back and lay back down on the bed.
Yep, he does not get
fine.
Up. I read.
And then Tibber just plops back down. Just lies there for a minute.
You guys sit there. And there's like a couple seconds, and Ekman gets up and sits at crisscross applesauce in front of your head and says, Hey. Are you okay?
It's been a rough couple of days, but I'm alright. Why?
Are you sure? Because how are you reacting? Well, it's very strange information. Everything is happening weird. We have been led on this crazy wild goose chase and everything, and it's fine if you're not okay.
Oh, I know. I know it's okay if I'm not okay. At this point, I don't know. Like, I've always tried to know the next step or know what to do next. Still laying there with, like, arms, like, crossed out, with chin on it type of thing, looking forward. Okay. But this is, like, the first time in a long time I just don't know what to do. I'm confused, angry, scared, sad. And at this moment, I'm just tired.
That's fair.
It'd be easier if you didn't feel anything. It'd be a lot easier if you didn't just feel anything, right?
I hate to disagree with you, but that's a lonely life.
That's fair.
For several years after my mother, I shut down. I went around, did jobs, that barely paid for food, slept in places no one would ever want, even dream of, and I quite frankly became a husk. So, no, not really. It doesn't help to not feel anything. Feeling is living.
That's fair. I kind of wipe my face off. Kind of like exhausted, like type thing. Yeah. I get that.
And kind of pats your head. Why don't you get some sleep?
In a minute. I want to do something. I'm going to reach into the bag of holding. I'm going to start reading through Dad's journal and see if I can find any information that'll help. Help in the coming days. Like maybe he wrote about the Feywilds. In the coming days.
Roll an investigation check.
Hey, I'm good at that one. I think. Let me double check. I think I'm going to investigations. I mean, it's an intelligence roll. That one's crooked. Nope, Tibral's tired. You rolled a nat 1.
Yep. You pull out this journal, and you open the pages and you start to read the familiar handwriting of your father. And as you're searching through this, nothing seems to be making sense, and you're not quite sure why until you realize that everything is a blur.
Mm-hmm.
Like the blur you can't shake, the blur you can't rub out of your eyes. And you take a couple seconds trying to do that, and you look back down and the book is suddenly gone. And Ekman is saying, "Go to bed."
Tibral's not going to even like not even stand up to lie down in the bed correctly. He's just going to kind of shimmy his way over there and plop face first into the pillow.
You fall asleep restlessly, but eventually sleep claims you. All right. Is there anything else anyone would want to accomplish before the morning?
Okay, Emma, you would like to investigate the gauntlet that you purchased from that elf earlier today?
Roll investigation. Yeah, you take a look at this gauntlet. The sterling silver exterior of it looks surprisingly unscathed. And the golden lining of each sort of plate that lines this gauntlet looks about as shiny as you probably would think, as it would be made on its first day ever existing. Like, it looks new. And for some reason, like, you have no idea why this looks so new when you pulled and scraped it out of this bin, full of rusted metal. And you turn it over, and you look at sort of like the sides and the thumb and the and all of the separate sort of fingers, and something catches your eye. A sort of small engraving at the wrist, right above the golden lining.
Can I read it? Or is it like too small or unrecognizable?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty small, but it has a similar sort of etching that those other Warforged on the mountains did have.
Dun,
Except
dun, dun.
those, I believe, and correct me if I'm misremembering, were TO5,
Ooh. Hold on, let me
correct?
go back in my notes because I have that written down. I think you're right. It was at least T something. Yeah.
T34?
Something like that.
So T34. This one, yeah, now thank you for reminding me of that. You look down and you see T-01.
Does this mean that Tomb's number was a T- number?
You have no idea. I don't think you've ever looked.
I guess I look now. But, wait. What hand is the gauntlet? Like left or right?
It's left.
Darn it. So, I guess I look at my right hand to see if I can find an etching similar. Do you want me to roll?
No, we can just carry over the same roll.
Okay.
You look down and you don't find a similar etching.
I bet it was on my left arm. Do I remember if the etchings on the 2 warforged I found on the mountain, if those were on their left arms? I can't remember.
It varied.
Okay. Got it.
Depending on the warforged, it seemed it was just put on whatever side.
Okay.
There, with a certain numerical event of them, it seemed, as you seen, only about 2 or 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they were on the left side, or for that one.
Yeah. I think I remember that too.
It's been a while.
Yeah. I think I remember the first one we found. It was like on the shoulder or like upper arm or something.
And I believe for that one was, it was in several places, but in several different places.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Interesting. I guess then I would just start looking all over my body then to try and find a number.
Roll investigation one more time with advantage because it's your body.
$26.
All right. But you look around. Then there's a mirror. Down to your right, down the hallway at the like an end cap, where there'd be like 2 other rooms. Right before, so like a little table and then a mirror, and then 2 rooms on either side. And as you're like walking down, your broad shoulders are like just barely not touching. It's not very wide, sort of hallway. But you look around, and you turn around as much as you can with your movement. Your back, nothing. Your legs, your feet, you don't see anything. But then you catch like a glimpse, like in between, like a very faded, like something you really just kind of thought was either rust or green paint. Yep, so your legs, nothing. And you look into the mirror, and it shines in just a way that you catch something that you always kind of thought was discoloration, or rust, but in between the emblem and where the wood begins to grow seems like the beginning of a T. And like it's not like a nub of it, it's like the little like capital stick, and then
So I'm assuming that's
continue going down.
That's like where my left arm was. That would make sense because my whole left arm was wood, and when Ziona replaced it, she probably had to remove a few metal pieces. Damn it, so I can't even... Ugh.
Tomb doesn't even know who he is.
No!
Who am I?
Who am I? What am I?
He's never really ever known who he is.
Except he knows he's Tomb.
True. But I guess he wouldn't necessarily know what, like, the idea or definition of identity is.
What is a Tomb?
Yeah.
What is Tomb?
You said it's just the T, or do I also see the dash?
No, you see like half of a capital T.
Half of a capital T. Wow.
You look at yourself in the mirror, you see like the sort of like paint or inscription seems to be like when there's like paint on metal and it's been left out in the open for a very long time. It's kind of doing that sort of thing. So like unless you really would have known what you're looking for, you really wouldn't have recognized it as a T.
Right, but now I know what I'm looking for, so then I would recognize. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And he was laying in the desert for who knows how long, so...
Yep. And the outside, and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I tell if it's like I don't want to say like burned into my metal, but like welded? I don't know what the word is, but it's like, it looks like someone took a torch and burned it in, or is it like painted on?
You can kind of tell that this is a sort of like long-lasting paint.
Okay. Is it green? Is the etching on the hand also green?
No, it is a literal just etching into the metal.
Interesting. Do I remember if the T1 on... No, because that's the T1. So then I wonder if... Were the other two, like the T34 or 43, whatever it was that also etched or was that painted?
That was paint.
Okay. Okay, so I guess I could gauge that maybe my creator etched the numbers in first, and then as she or he created more, it turned into paint. Interesting. This is killing me not knowing. Okay, then I'd probably just go back and sit by the door and just put the gauntlet back in the bag of holding.
So you turn around and walk down the corridor to the corner where your friends Fellery and Virgil are staying. It seems that you hear at this point that Virgil has succumbed to sleep. Light young snoring emanating from the door. And as you sit down, there's a couple minutes that you're waiting. Can you roll a perception check for me?
Mm-hmm. 13.
As you're just staring there, staring straight ahead, out of a peripheral vision of your eyes, around the corridor where, in the next level, Tavis would have gone, but in this level, Tavis's room isn't there. But around a corridor in front of you to your left, you see a small little head with black bushy hair stick out. Did I say black? I meant brown. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Brown bushy hair.
Is it like a child?
Yeah. But as this little bushel of hair starts to come around the corner, you see a small elven face just kind of like peek around and make eye contact with you and duck back really quick. You tilt your head in confusion over at the child, and and the child comes back around the corner slowly and like only peeks like one eye out at you, but then sees that you're still looking and kind of like ducks back a little bit, but like stays a little bit out and just kind of stares at you. You wave, and the kid kind of like ducks back a little bit, but his fingers stay around the corners, and he like comes back, and then he like looks at you for a second, and then kind of like waves high really erratically and puts his hand back on the corner, and continues to stare at you.
I don't know, I wouldn't really do anything, so I'd probably just sit there and stare back.
And this like tense staring contest moment just happens for a long while. And this kid just kind of, after a while, he's about 3.5 feet tall. Small elven boy with bushy black hair, kind of like starts to come around the corner in loose fitting clothes, and he points at you. Tomb?
I nod.
And his eyes like light up. Whoa! And he walks over quickly. You're from the Scry Network.
I tilt my head in confusion, just wondering what he means by that.
I see you on our screens all the time. You're really cool.
I just kind of sit there for a second, like looking at him, and my eyes flicker a little bit, and then I like take out my notebook and I'm like, you see me?
He squints at the paper. For you, and he's like spelling out the like sounding out the words. You, yeah, I see you all the time on her screams at home. And he like smiles, and you see like he's missing his 2 front teeth.
Wait, what was the name of the thing he said he saw me on?
The Scry Network, or Scrynet. He's like, wait, I have, and he like digs in his pocket, and then he takes out about an 8-inch tall figurine of you.
What the hell?
He's like, I play with you and your friend Temporal all the time when we go on adventures.
Right in my notebook, I say, do you have Temporal with you?
I left him in my room. But I have you. You're my favorite.
Do you, and then I ask him, is there anyone else you have?
Yeah, so there's you, there's Temporal, there's the new guy, there's the new character on your show, Red Guest, Nick's Bright, yeah.
I shake my head, yeah.
Yeah, I really liked Vezrin though, and Perthy. I liked them a lot. I wish they wouldn't have wrote them out of the show.
Oh gosh. That's a strange turn of events. Oh,
it's Tavis! Yeah! Tavis is cool too.
I take a second and I look at him for a little bit, and then I write down in my notebook, I say, can I borrow this, pointing to the figurine of me?
Yeah, I can have it back though, right?
I shake my head, yes. I say, can I give it back to you in the morning?
Okay, I'm staying over there, and he points to the corridor he came from, and, my mom and my dad don't know I'm out of the room right now. So, can I, can
I tell him that just come to this room, and I point to the room I'm sitting next to.
I don't know if my mommy and dad will let me do that. Can we meet at breakfast?
Tube kind of tilts his head because he's not sure what the word breakfast means, but then he just shakes his head in agreement.
Okay. It's downstairs. It's in the dining room, where a big table is, even bigger than what I've ever seen. There's a lot of chairs there. They all look the same, which is weird because there's so many of them. You think they'd be a lot of mismatched chairs, but my mommy and daddy say that this family really has it together on their decorating style.
I shake my head again because he just kind of rambled a little bit.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go over there now.
I shake my shake my head. Okay.
Awesome. Have fun playing with yourself.
I wave. Oh gosh. I get up and I walk up to the 4th floor and knock on Ekman and Timbrel's door.
Wait.
Or just walk in. I guess.
Wait. You knock on our door?
I think I might just walk in, actually.
So okay. I don't know how over me Ekman is, but Timbrel's just lying there on his face.
No, at this point, so you walk in. Timbrel was too tired to lock the door.
Oh, for sure.
He simply closed it. So you walk in and you see that Ekman has turned over Timbrel and tucked him in. And Ekman is sleeping on.
I hear the door. I'm assuming you're not stealthily opening the door. Okay. I sit up like, oh. Tomb, what are you doing?
I walk over the... Does Ekman wake up?
Ekman, where are you?
I'm down here.
Just a second.
I try to avoid Ekman as I walk over to the bed. And, okay. Tomb can't necessarily show emotion, but, like, no matter how sleepy you are, you both would realize that he's flustered. Like...
Oh, for sure.
Like, his eyes are flickering rapidly, Talon's kind of freaking out. And then
What's up, bud? What's happening?
I walk over to the bed, and I hand him me. Like, I hand him the figurine.
Where did you get that?
And then I open my notebook, and I start, like, frantically writing. It's, like, the fastest you've ever seen him write.
Tomb, calm down. I make a psionically with you.
It basically...
Calm down, buddy.
And then he's like, I start kind of talking fast, and I basically just tell you the interaction I just had with this little boy, and everything that he had just told me. And then I say, like, who is...
What little boy?
I don't know.
What little boy?
I don't know his name.
There's a little boy?
Where is he? Can you take me to him?
Second floor. I told him I'd meet him in the morning to give him back me. And then I asked him questions like, who is your dad? Like how
Are there other ones?
Yes. And then I tell him, like, the boy has figurines of you. He has figurines of Tavis, Fez, Perthy, Radgast, Nyx, like...
Oh.
All of us. And
the whole
game.
Then
I'd also say, like, he mentions that he sees us on screens. I don't know what a screen is. in a sense, but because I don't relate it to what we saw when we walked in to the Feywild. But and like on.
As Tomb is talking, I'm gonna kind of hold the figurine up to him. How uncanny is it?
Yeah, like
is it more related to old Tomb?
Yeah, because are there cherry blossoms all over it, and then there's the emblem in my chest, and the new arm.
This one seems to be exactly Tomb.
Oh gosh. I mean, I tell him
down to the cherry blossoms, down to the scrapes that he got. Not from the hag fight. It seems that it's older than but it is new.
Was it from Ekman's blades at Device's Mountain? Or were those fixed?
Those were fixed.
Yeah.
So it has.
And then I also
what?
I also tell him about the boy sees it on Scrynet, and then I mentioned like that was something that your dad was on, and then I just kind of start like frantically asking random questions, kind of like whispering to myself because it's like you're inside his mind, so like he's just thinking rapidly. And he doesn't understand what's happening, and then he just mentions things about how he was going over through the arm and what he found in the arm, and that he was built by someone and he's kind of dangerous. It's just kind of like all those stuff.
Tomb. No, right. Tomb.
Ekman stands up. Ugh.
Come here, Ekman. Tomb, stand still for a second.
I'm here.
I don't want you to look at this. I'm going to hold the toy up like where for him it would be like at the same height of Tomb.
Is Talon even inside my torso as well?
Talon has now flown out and has hopped to the end of the bed and is now sitting there, and it's kind of like and is kind of like hopping up and down, like kind of like he's pacing.
Is there like a toy version of Talon inside the toy version of me, and like is there a bag of holding around my shoulder and everything?
You kind of like fumble around with this toy, kind of like getting it in the same way, and you feel like the back of this little figurine goes in a little bit, and you see Tomb's eyes light up, and a little owl sound comes from his abdomen suddenly.
This is freaking terrifying.
Ekman, have you seen anything like this? Any toy like this?
That is the most advanced toy making and most. How did they even get your cherry blossoms?
Okay, Tib hears an interruption from Tube as Tube's like slowly piecing things together, and then he starts to remember how people were looking at us funny when we entered the Feywild, and then he like goes back through the whole conversation with the boy. And then he kind of starts to wonder, like, is that why people were looking at us that way? And how it's like it's different from how most people look at him when they see him. And then he just kind of goes down a rabbit hole.
Tomb, I think you're right. I think you're 100% right. And I say this out loud while Ekman doesn't know what's happening. Yeah.
I wonder if they have a toy for me.
I think you're stuck on the
I'm
wrong
saying in my
thing
mind,
here.
trying to respond and say that the boy didn't mention you. And hope that Tib will respond.
Oh, wait, I didn't say that.
Tomb says the boy never mentioned you.
But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have one.
But yeah, it doesn't mean it's not there.
Well, that is a shame. I think I'd make an excellent figure. I have an excellent one. And he like whips his hair over his shoulder.
Tomb nods because he's like, or like he tilts his head because he's not sure what that means.
When he was talking to Ekman, he was looking him in the eye, and once he said, "I have a perfect figure," turns his head away towards Tomb, like whip pans over to Tomb. You met this boy just a few minutes ago, right?
I shake my head, yes.
Can you take us to his room? We can go give this back to him. Give it back to him, and I can ask it. I want to just ask him something.
I kind of sit silently.
Or do you want to...
But then I respond and I say, that's not a good idea. And he said... And I said, because the boy said his parents, whatever that word means, or who, they don't know he has left the room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll wait for more.
And then I'd ask, like, what does that mean? Like, as in the word parent. I think he also mentioned mom and dad, too. So I'd be like, what does that mean?
Do you remember my mother, Diane?
I shake my head, yes.
That's a mom.
Okay.
And the two people we met today who is related to Tavis.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the big burly man was his father, or his dad.
Oh, okay.
And his mom was the one who was running the flower shop.
Got it. He kind of like sits there and nods, and you can tell that he's slowly understanding.
Mm-hmm. So, do you want to hold on to this, or you want me to?
I reach out my hand.
Okay. Just be careful with it. It's not ours to break.
And I just stick it in the bag of holding.
Good. Good man, Tomb. Go get some rest. We'll talk about more of this in the morning.
Hey.
I want to meet this kid.
Okay, Hold on, I gotta try and think of what he's gonna do. Because my thought is he's either gonna ask if he can just stay with you guys, or he'd just go back. I think... Yeah, because he didn't lock the door, but he just has the key to the door.
Mm.
So he would probably just stay with you guys, but he'd sit in front of the door.
Tomb, you don't have to sit outside. You're
no,
fine.
I mean, like, he'd be inside the room, but he'd be sitting
next to the door?
In front of the door, looking at the door with his back to you.
As long as you're comfy there, as long as you're comfy there, friend.
Well, all right.
Ekman, why are you sleeping on the floor? There is the bed is split. It's big enough for both of us.
I am a respectable tiefling.
Starting when?
Since forever. How dare you? I have standards. We have never actually shared a bed.
Nope. Alright, I guess if you don't want to. I'm gonna roll over and go to sleep.
And he gets on his bedroll.
No, fair enough. Playing hard to get. Baka. It's not like I like you or anything, Baka.
I heard that. It turns over. But.
Good night. Good night, Tomb.
Yeah, then I just sit there and just become buried in my thoughts.
And all of you find a night of rest, are able to find it somehow, some way, some easier than others, some filled with comfort that they are now home, and that familiar smells fill their nostrils, and that their familiar people also fill their gaze. Some are angry, some are sad, some are just very tired, but all of you are claimed by the darkness of sleep. And as you wake up, you are greeted to the smell all through the house of breakfast being made.
I'm going to start standing up. Where is Ekman at the moment?
He is on the floor. He is not an early riser.
I figured.
I'd also probably be gone by now. Like, I think I would have left the room and went down to sit at a table so that the boy knew where I was.
Make your way, find a table, sit.
I'm going to start standing up. And I just rolled something just to see like if I'd find what I would think if I would find him. Yeah, I trip over Ekman.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
I rolled a 9.
All right. And you get up, you swing your legs over, and you catch your feet behind Ekman's thighs as he's on his side, turned towards the wall. And you hear oh, ah! And you just go flying into the cabinet doors.
Oh gosh.
And then you take
Ow.
4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow. Ow. Wait, where's Timbrel's character sheet? There it is. I take 4 points. Go to... There we go.
And you just slide down the door to the ground, and you just hear, what did you just do? Are you okay?
Oh, that hurt. Good morning.
Hello. And he reaches over and touches your nose, and he's like, does that hurt?
I mean, it's sore, but I don't think it's broken.
And pats your face well.
Ow. While he does that, I'm going to do that thing where you put your hand over your nose and then you pretend to crack it by pulling on one of your teeth. Just make him think I tried pulling it back into place.
He's like, what are you doing?
What? I'm a doctor, aren't I? I fixed Tavis.
What license do you have? I know you're skilled in areas. Stop it.
Don't worry. I put my hand on his face. Don't worry. It was just a joke. And I'm going to start standing up.
Punches you in the thigh and gets up as well.
Okay. That was uncalled for.
Well, back of my thighs hurt now. Now yours hurt and your face does. He gets up and walks downstairs.
As soon as Redguest smells the morning breakfast, he's going to wake up Beliana and Nyx and go downstairs.
Ooh! Beliana gets up. Time for food?
Time for food.
Fantastic. She gets up and leaves quickly.
Also, when you guys get downstairs to the dining area, you'll probably just see Tomb just holding his figurine and just looking at it.
All of you make your way downstairs one at a time and gather around Tomb, who is holding an exact replication of himself.
Tomb?
Hey guys. Oh, Tomb, you're already down here. Morning, Redguest.
Morning. What is this?
Yeah. Tomb showed me that last night. I don't know. Did the boy show up?
I look around to see if I can find him.
Doesn't look like he's here yet.
I shake my head no.
Alrighty. Well, we're not in any rush. So, Redguest, just to kind of fill you in. Apparently, a boy watched us on Scrynet on screens and has this doll of Tomb. Apparently has one of me and all of us.
He watched us on Scrynet?
Apparently.
How long?
It sounds like from before we even met you. Before I met the party.
Yeah.
Redguest's eyes widen and then they go back to their normal, almost slit size. That's different.
Very disconcerting, I would say. Hopefully this kid has some answers. How was your sleep last night, though? Was your guys' room nice? Talking about you, Redguest.
Very nice.
Good.
Oh, yes, I slept on a bed not made of animal skin, which is weird.
Fair enough. With traveling with us, you're going to find all sorts of weird things. See all sorts of new things in this in the world. Well, in these worlds, I guess.
I have to agree. I never thought that anything like this could ever happen, but it's useful information. And she sits down across from Tomb at the table.
Dang it! I don't want to sit next to her.
Oh,
I'll go grab us something to drink or eat or something. I'll be back.
let me help you.
Thank you.
I follow Red Guest to go get food.
Right. You meander your way. So from like the way you entered, like the stairs, you came down the stairs and you turn right, and that was where all of the large amount of tables and chairs were. And as you enter back into the main fray, you see the similar elf, who is now standing behind the wooden desk, but it looks like she's not going to be there for much longer. Bending down and grabbing something behind.
Like the one who ran off and threw a pin at Tavis?
Mm.
Okay.
Same one.
I don't know. So she's bending down. Is she over by the desk, you said?
Yeah, you guys exit from the food room that has no food yet. You pass the stairs and you see like the wooden desk that she is standing behind. It looks like she is bending down, sort of like a hostess sort of station right now. It looks like she's bending behind and grabbing things from there.
Alrighty. Do we see anybody else or anything else in the room?
No, you see, you can continue going forward. It looks like there might be another room through that door, or you can go down the hall past her. Or out the door.
Well, Red Guest, doesn't seem like we went to the right place.
It does or it doesn't?
It doesn't.
Oh. Then should we head back?
I don't know. We can. Why don't we go ask? Ask the lady behind the counter. Let's shimmy on over to the desk.
Shimmy, shimmy.
You walk up right as she is coming back up, and she makes eye contact with you and jumps a little bit. Oh, sorry. Hello. My name is Vazaria. Is there anything that...
Oh, it's just very nice to meet you. Me and Red Guest my friend here, we were looking for place to get the food and drinks for our friends, and we were just wanting to grab something to drink before the food came out. We were wondering where we should go.
And you can see that she is holding several just like pieces of paper that look to be shiny for some reason, and that she has her hair like put back in a bun, so you see like the silver tips peeking out behind her head, and a white shirt tucked into a black sort of flowy skirt. Well, if you just wait back in that room, we will come in and we can serve you any food or drink that you want or need. In fact, actually, and she hands you 2 pieces of the shiny paper.
Alrighty.
And it feels like pretty durable paper for some reason. And you look down and you see just a vast sort of like recommendations for food or drink. You just press what you want, the menu will flash, disappear, and when we have it ready, it will come in.
Fascinating. Red guest, look at this, and I hand one of them down to him. Have you seen anything like this?
They don't have stuff like this where I come from.
Man, this is such a different world.
Oh, standard procedure in Australia. And in fact, that is an older model that we bought off a failing food chain. But so you'll see things like that if you go out and eat more over here.
This world is so fascinating. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
What was your name, by the way? What did you say?
Visaria.
Visaria? Nice to meet you,
Redcast.
Visaria. Tibril.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And she says, "No, if you'll excuse me," and she starts walking around you back to the room that you walked from.
Well, these are cool.
Very cool. We gotta go show these to the others.
Right? What is even that? Alrighty then. Okay. Let's just, I guess, head back. Yeah.
Shimmy, shimmy.
All right. Shimmy,
Shimmy, shimmy. What do you think Tomb's gonna do with one of these?
Asks you what it is.
That's fair.
And then if you figure out how it works, explain it to me.
She explained it to me. I'm still confused. I'm used to people just handing me a piece of paper or just telling me what the restaurant has. This is weird.
All right. All of you walk into Visaria has passed out a majority of the menus. And as she gets to Tavis, she looks at you, throws the menu at you, continues to walk.
Oh gosh.
And she gets to the front of the room. All right, everyone. If I've been informed that some of you haven't ever seen any of this, so I'm just going to give a little rundown about how all of this works. Just so everyone here is comfortable ordering their food for the morning. And she puts it up like a sort of like flight attendant. This here is a menu for our food. If you point and select, if you poke it, it will light up, tell you what the food is, and then you can select it, and when you're finished, it will disappear, and we will get you your food. Anyone have any questions? No? Great. And she walks out of the room.
I'm gonna lean over to Ekman. It's like, have you seen? Okay, am I going crazy, or is this like way out of what we're used to?
I used to think magic was just very fantastical, and now that we're here in a world that is so used to it, yeah, I've never seen this, and I don't know really what. What is escargot?
I don't know. It sounds really fancy.
I thought this was breakfast.
What? I'm going to click it. Click escargot.
And like, what that comes up is a picture of like fried snails, essentially. And
There
like
back button. Back. Don't.
And all of you kind of like see like there's a very bunch of very fancy options. There's kid-friendly options. There is no ale. There is water. There is juice. There is tea and coffee.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna hit back on the escargot.
All
I'm
right,
just gonna look for something with eggs in it. I'm just gonna look for something with eggs and probably coffee.
All right. You find scrambled eggs, toast, down in the kids menu. You're able to select it.
Cool.
a cup of coffee, and Ackerman's like, I found pancakes. Collects it.
Oh, I want pancakes.
Oh, it's
Gives my menu to Ekman.
he points at it and he's like, it's right there.
I'm just gonna hand one. Wait, no, it disappears after I use it. I'm gonna take an extra one and hand it to him. And that's it. I'm just gonna hand it to him.
Oh gosh. I don't know if I'd respond. Because I think I'd be too focused on the figurine that's in my hand. So you'd have to, like, nudge me and, like...
I'm gonna take the figurine out of his hand and put the menu there.
I, like, look up at you for a second and, like, stare at you like, why'd you just do that? And then I can look at those weird thing in front of me and then just press it and start, like, poking it.
Dude's gonna come back with a huge order.
Probably.
Oh
All
my
right,
gosh.
roll a percentile die for me.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, that's the one with like the 90
the
and
D100 and the
50.
D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I just roll that one? Or do I roll the 10
And a
as
D100
well?
or a D10. Yeah.
Okay. I've never done this before. So I rolled an 8 and I rolled a 90.
So 98.
Oh, that makes sense.
All right, so you select a myriad of options, and the menu flashes yellow, which no one else has done, and disappears.
Okay,
Alrighty then.
so I've ordered a bunch of stuff.
I don't think I should have given that to Tomb.
Probably
That probably
not.
was a bad idea.
Yeah, that was a
No.
bad idea.
Yes, I think that not great.
And I can't even
Well.
eat anything.
All of
Well.
you.
I guess if anybody who figured it out, it's gonna be Tomb.
All of you find several options. Tavis, you're able to guide through some of your friends to this sort of thing because you're used to it. You wait several minutes. The chatter begins to pick up in the room, much like breakfast, beginning of day chatter. You hear several conversations like, "What are we gonna do today? I don't know. What do you want to do today?" Like, "I don't know. What do you want to do today?" And, "Oh, I saw on Scry Hour last night that the Magical Mystery Squad and other ones, man, Almondero's so cool. I want to meet him." Like, just different sort of chatter emanating from up around you. If you guys want to hear more, roll a perception check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
All right. You kind of zoom
think
in
that'd
on
be-
like the.
I think that's 25.
Is there a specific thing you want to zoom in on?
I said.
Huh?
The Almondero thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
making sure. I don't know. Magical Mystery Squad sounds neat.
I heard my dad's name. The whole thing for Timbrel's existence. Trying to find his dad and save his mom.
You hear, like, very clearly this conversation piques your interest. And just it's a woman elf with blonde hair and blue eyes, and another woman with curly red hair and green eyes. And they are sharing a meal in the center with 2 cups of tea on the outside. And it seems the blonde-haired one made the comment of Almondero so cool. The red-haired one says, "Yeah, I think that his co-hosts Orad and Arid are are actually cooler. I don't know why, ever since Almondero came back, that they've just been pushed back. Yeah, I know, but Almondero just has a way with words and just how he carries himself. Just makes you want to watch. It's almost something about how he does it. I just don't know. And they continue on for like that about the show, about and you kind of notice as they're both talking, you see similar brands on the top of each of their hands that you've noticed on other elven people.
Mm-hmm.
Of the crest with the circle and the tendrils coming out of it in all separate directions.
Does it look familiar to anything that Tibral's dad had when he was growing up?
That Tibral's dad had?
Mm-hmm. As they were growing up.
Roll a history check.
You know what? We're going to roll the same one that gave me natural 20. We're going to try it again.
Hey.
Well, thank goodness I'm good at history. Let's sneeze. 11.
Okay. No, nothing comes to mind. This crest seems pretty foreign to you.
Okay.
Yeah. And they continue on the conversation. And the redheaded one says, eventually after they're talking about just how cool Almondero is and how Ori-D and Ari-D really deserve more limelight, but their fashion show critique is really good, but it's not as good as the Death Course. And the redheaded one gets up and says, well, I suppose I need to get going to my shift. I'll see you later tonight for tea, right? The blonde one says, yeah. Have a good shift. Mine's right after yours, so we'll see each other. But on my break, we'll have the tea. And they part ways.
I go back to talking with the group.
Tomb, you notice at this point, a familiar, short little bush of brown hair rounds the corner with two taller elven men and woman, a man and lady. You can see that the little boy got his looks from his mother, and his father is just more of like black hair and strong facial features, and the mom definitely looks like this is like copied her face onto this little boy's face. And the little boy rounds the corner and he looks at you and he like audibly gasps. You came! And you look up and you can see that he has an armful of every single one of you at the table in his arms.
And that was this episode of Audio Adventures. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and most of all, please share to get out the word so we can share our story with you and keep doing what we're doing. If you have an idea for an NPC, a shop, or even an encounter, please comment down below. You might be seeing any of those in the next session or maybe even the upcoming sessions. Again, thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next week. Please stay safe, everyone, and wear those seatbelts.